So once we've established the understanding that, it's a whole processes starting from quality management is a whole process. It's quality itself, the concept of quality is a process. It's a process of, coming up with the requirement, understanding the requirement, going through preparation of a plan, and then prepare to check, prepare to control, prepare to audit, up to the point that you actually carry out the checking, the controlling, and also the study of the data to check, to not to say check lah, but I don't want to use the word check too much, otherwise we'll be back to the inspection era, but to actually find where the problems are and try to resolve the problem from the root level, so that in the next future, in the next process that we are carrying out for the next item or for the next resources, it will be improved in that sense. Okay, so there's a lot of things that is involved. The whole thing is a process. The whole thing is a process that includes procedures, that includes practices, that includes culture, that includes mindset, that includes involvement of different parties as well. So it is not it is not wrong at all to say that quality management is two parts. One is the final product output. One is the journey, the processes towards that product output. So failure to meet either one of them will cause significant impact on the final product, you see. And when you could have done all the right processes, but the final product could also still be problematic, but that is another issue, you see. But then if you do all these processes, normally the product that comes out should be quite reasonably within the limit of specifications, you see, or within certain boundaries that you set it up to be. So the question here is, you have to remember that, quality is not just about, it's not about just final inspection. It's not about just going to the site and check, and do massive kind of data collections. It's not like that. So the main thing is with quality, we have to understand that it is a whole set of practices, it's a whole set of procedures, it's a whole, then all this set is actually a lot of we call it processes, okay? And the key thing is, here, we also have to realize that quality is a relative kind of thing, meaning that it is not fixed as in if you fix this as this dimension, you meet this dimension, it is okay. You have met, this is a quality item. So quality is never absolute. Quality is the hardest bit as compared to time, as compared to cost, as compared to other items like safety even. Quality is a lot more subjective, meaning that it is actually relative to something. And when we talk about relative, the modern quality management emphasize on project clients' requirement. So it is a very key word. So what is the desired level of quality? What is the quality level that you wish to achieve? What is the desired level of excellence? And that desired level of excellence are actually what the customers are looking for. But of course, the customers, what they are looking for may not be reasonable in the first place. We have, as engineers, as civil engineers, we need to guide them. We need to be able to tell the client their requirement we can meet in a certain way. We'll try our best to meet in a certain way. But if so happens that their requirements are not reasonable, we also have to not to say educate them, but we should let them know that, we need to come to a meeting of mind whether it is actually reasonable or not to carry it out in such a way, for example, or to design it in such a way, or to bear that kind of characteristic. And because it is very tightly related to cost and time as well. If they don't have the money, if they don't have the time, it is impossible for them to get the perfect thing that they want, or something that is out of the limitation, out of the constraint. It's just like if they only have 1 million and you want to build a palace, is that possible? You have to remember that. So it's up to us to adjust, we have to agree and meet the mind with the client. Otherwise, we are going to be having a lot of issue later on, because the ultimate aim of quality management is to meet the customer's requirement. And here we go, you don't even know what they want. And yes, after you know what they want, you cannot achieve it, and you promise them that you can achieve it, and then end up you cannot achieve it, because that is unreasonable in the first place. It's impossible in the first place. So if you say that, you want to build a palace with gold, so you need to paint it with gold paint, so the gold has to come in the gold paint. So, well, that is money. If the client don't have the money, how are you going to paint it in gold? You see, how are you going to paint a toilet bowl in gold? You see, so you can't. You see, so then the client said, hey, you say you can, like you design it like this, and it's not this. This is not gold. This is just yellow color in a brighter version. So they're not happy with it. Then therefore you do not meet the requirement. And when you do not meet the requirement, did you fail in quality? You basically did fail in quality. So again, we have to know what is the definition of quality first in the first place. That is very, very important. That is the first part of a major part of our class, that we need to understand what is quality. Okay. So quality is defined as a totality of features and characteristics of the product that bears its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. And again, this stated and implied needs is the first thing that we need to do. You see, it's the very, very first thing that we need to do. We have to be aware of that first, you see. So in this place, you have to get your requirement first. You need to know what are you conforming to? What are you supposed to be conforming to? It's about conforming to requirements, but do you know the requirements? Do you know what is the minimum level of desired excellence that is required from your client? What is it that they want? Like me as a client, I can be very, very simple. I can say that if I want to buy a phone, I can say that for me, quality is only about being able to pick phone, being able to not jam, being able to watch dramas on it. It's like that is my kind of quality. But some people, they buy iPhones, they spend like 3,000, 4,000, even 5,000 on a handphone. Why? Because that is their requirement. They require it to be in a certain ways, you see. So you need to know what is required from the client. What is the minimum that they require? And then we need to see whether it is all relative to the client. Then we need to see whether it is reasonable in the first place. And we try to come in between and meet the mind of the client. And then also these are all the definitions of quality. Some of it is a relative quality, like if it's regarding features, then if you say that to me, quality is about dimensions, it's about measurement, then yes, that is your quality. If it's a product, maybe it's some attributes, it must be able to do something. If it's user, then it's usually maybe it has to be, the user can use it for something. Manufacturing usually is about conforming to certain standards. Value is about whether it's going to be, you pay this much, but it's going to perform a lot better, or the cost is low, but the performance is good. Then that is value based on quality. It's a different level of quality. So relative quality is usually like related to comparison of features with products, within other products as well. Then it depends. So there's relative quality, but this relative and the relative that I'm talking about is two different things. This is relative to other products. So you are building, like, let's say there are computer or laptop or iPad. So all this pad, there are many products. There's Samsung, there's Huawei, there is iPad. So there's so many different kind of pads. So then you are looking at it relative to one another. But then what the relative quality is relative, not absolute. It's different thing that we're talking about here in this particular sentence. This is about relative quality. But about quality is a relative thing. It's not an absolute thing. It's because quality is usually subjected to the customer's requirements. There's a level of people based in it, the mentality based in it. Okay. Right. So there is other things that we have here on quality definition. So depending on which industry you're from and what you're building and what you're doing, then the definition of quality is different, okay, with one another. And of course, that definition have to be related again back to the customer. Otherwise, you cannot achieve customer satisfaction.